What if the key to a higher, more fulfilling life wasn't in doing more, thinking more, or striving harder, but in letting go? What if the constant noise in your mind is the very thing keeping you from clarity, peace, and the energy that aligns you with everything you desire? The less you think, the higher you vibrate. And once you understand this, reality itself begins to shift. Are you ready to wake up to the power that has always been within you? There's a shift happening. A shift within you, within all of us. Maybe you've felt it. A subtle pull towards something deeper, something beyond the noise of daily life. It's not a coincidence. It's your energy calling you back to yourself. Everything in the universe vibrates. The air around you, the ground beneath your feet, the very cells in your body. They all move to an invisible rhythm, a frequency that defines your experience of reality. And the higher this frequency, the more alive, connected, and aligned you become. But here's the secret. Your thoughts control your vibration. The more your mind is filled with restless chatter, the heavier your energy feels. When your head is cluttered with worries, doubts, and endless mental loops, your frequency drops. You feel stuck, disconnected, trapped in a cycle where life just happens to you instead of through you. Yet, in moments of pure joy, everything shifts. A wave of peace washes over you. Colors seem brighter, the world feels lighter, and time slows down. There's no overthinking, no second-guessing, just presence. Just being. This is the state where your vibration is at its highest, where you're fully in sync with the energy of the universe. This is not some mystical theory. It's science. Every thought you have carries a frequency shaping the energy field around you. The more you dwell on stress, fear, or doubt, the more you attract circumstances that match that frequency. But the opposite is also true. Raise your vibration, and life responds in kind. So the real question is, what's stopping you from living at your highest vibration every single day? That's the journey we're about to take together. A journey back to your natural state of alignment, where peace and clarity replace the storm of overthinking, where you shift from a passive observer of your life to an active creator of your reality. And it all starts with understanding one simple truth. The less you think, the higher you vibrate. Are you ready? There's a voice inside your head, constant, relentless, comments on everything. It replays the past, worries about the future, analyzes, judges, plans, doubts. From the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep, it's there, filling the silence with endless chatter. Society calls this intelligence, productivity, awareness. But what if it's actually a trap? From the time you were a child, you were conditioned to believe that thinking equals control. That if you just think enough, prepare enough, anticipate enough, you can stay ahead of life. But has all this thinking really brought you peace? Or has it only created more anxiety, more hesitation, more exhaustion? The mind is a tool, not a master. And yet, for most people, it's the other way around. Instead of using the mind, they are used by it. Instead of choosing their thoughts, they are consumed by them. A thought appears, and suddenly, it takes over, pulling them into spirals of overanalysis, self-doubt, and fear. But here's the truth. The more you think, the less you actually experience life. Have you ever walked through a beautiful place but been too lost in thought to notice? Have you ever been with someone you love but spent the moment trapped inside your own head? This is the illusion, believing that thinking about life is the same as living it. The mind is like a spinning wheel, always turning, always searching. But real peace doesn't come from thinking your way to it. It comes from stepping outside the wheel, from realizing that silence is not emptiness. It's freedom. So what happens when you stop clinging to every thought? What happens when you give yourself permission to just be? That's when the illusion shatters. And that's when your energy truly begins to rise. There is a state where everything feels effortless, where the weight of worry lifts, and life flows with an undeniable sense of harmony. Colors seem richer, sounds feel deeper, every breath carries a quiet joy, and nothing feels forced, only natural. This is not something rare, not something reserved for the enlightened or the lucky. It is your original state, the state you were born into before the noise of the world filled your mind, before stress, expectations, and overthinking dulled your connection to something greater. Look at a child lost in laughter. Look at the ocean waves rolling without hesitation. Look at a bird gliding across the sky, weightless and free. None of them are trapped in thought. None of them are calculating their next move. They are simply being, and because of that, they vibrate at their highest frequency. The truth is, your natural state is one of peace, clarity, and alignment. Your energy is meant to flow freely, unburdened by excessive thought. But the mind, with its endless loops and distractions, creates resistance. It builds walls between you and the effortless rhythm of life. But the moment the mind quiets, even for a second, everything shifts. The tension dissolves. Presence returns. And in that space, the energy within you begins to rise, unrestricted and pure. This is not something you achieve. It's something you return to, a homecoming to the way you were always meant to exist. The question is, how often do you allow yourself to be in this state? How often do you step beyond the noise and into the flow of your highest vibration? Because the more you do, the more life responds. Not with struggle, not with resistance, but with synchronicity, ease, and an undeniable sense of belonging. Energy is meant to flow. It moves like a river, steady, powerful, alive. When the path is clear, everything feels effortless. There's a sense of lightness and openness to life. But when blockages appear, the flow slows. The once powerful current becomes stagnant, heavy, obstructed. This is what happens when the mind is overloaded with endless thought patterns. Every worry, every fear, every unresolved emotion acts like debris in the river, piling up, blocking movement, cutting you off from your natural vibrational state. Stress tightens the body. Doubt clouds intuition. Overthinking creates resistance that stops energy from circulating freely. The mind becomes a cage, and instead of flowing with life, you start pushing against it, feeling stuck, drained, disconnected. Have you ever felt exhausted without doing anything physically demanding? Have you ever woken up tired, as if your energy had been drained overnight? That is the weight of mental blockages. They don't just affect the mind. They pull on the body, emotions, and spirit, lowering your vibration until even the simplest tasks feel overwhelming. But here's what's important to understand. These blockages are not permanent. They are not who you are. They are simply accumulated patterns, loops of thought that, with awareness, can be released. And the moment you let go, the river flows again. Energy returns. The weight lifts, and your vibration, unrestricted, begins to rise back to where it was always meant to be. There is a way out of the endless mental noise, a way to break free from the overthinking, the self-doubt, the constant chatter that pulls you away from peace. It doesn't require force. It doesn't require struggle. It only requires one thing: awareness. Most people don't think, they are thought. They don't control their minds. Their minds control them. A thought appears, and without question, they follow it. One thought turns into 10. 10 turn into a spiral. And before they know it, they're lost in a cycle of worries, regrets, and distractions. But what happens when you just observe? When a thought arises, instead of reacting, you simply notice it. Instead of getting lost in it, you step back. You don't fight it. You don't suppress it. You just watch like an outsider looking in. And then, something incredible happens. The thought passes. It loses its grip. The mental noise begins to quiet, and in that stillness, your energy starts to shift. This is where true power lies, not in controlling every thought, but in realizing that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. You are the observer, the witness, the presence that exists beyond the noise. The more you step into this awareness, the less power your thoughts have over you. The less they drain your energy, and the higher your vibration rises, free from the weight of unnecessary mental distractions. This is not just a practice. It's a transformation, a shift from being lost in thought to being fully present in life. And once you experience it, there's no going back. There is a space beyond thought, a space where clarity replaces confusion, where stillness replaces chaos. It's not something distant or unreachable. It's here always, But most people never touch it because their minds are too loud to hear it. Mental silence is not emptiness. It is not a void. It is presence in its purest form. It is the moment when thoughts settle and something deeper rises, awareness, a knowing beyond words, a connection to everything without the need to explain or analyze. When the mind quiets, consciousness expands, the senses sharpen, reality feels more vivid, more alive. Insights arise without effort. Solutions appear without struggle. Creativity flows as if pulled from an endless source. This is what happens when the mental noise fades and the deeper self is allowed to speak. Throughout history, sages, mystics, and visionaries have discovered this truth. They stepped beyond the mind's limitations and into the vastness of pure awareness. And from this state, they changed the world not by thinking harder, but by being fully present, fully attuned to the energy that moves all things. This expansion of consciousness is not reserved for the few. It is available to anyone willing to step out of the storm of thought and into the silence that has been waiting all along. And in that silence, everything begins to shift. Not because the world changes, but because the way you see it does. Reality is not fixed. It moves, shifts, and bends in response to the energy you carry. Every thought, every emotion, every intention sends out a frequency, and the world around you adjusts to match it. A person vibrating at a low frequency, burdened by fear, stress, and doubt, sees a reality filled with obstacles. Doors seem to close. Relationships feel strained. Life feels like a struggle. But someone vibrating at a higher frequency experiences the opposite. The right people show up. Opportunities unfold effortlessly. There is a natural flow, a rhythm where everything seems to fall into place. This isn't luck. It's energy in motion. The universe mirrors what you put out. A heavy mind creates a heavy life. A clear, elevated state of being attracts clarity, synchronicity, and abundance. Throughout history, those who have mastered their vibration have reshaped their own realities. They have turned struggles into breakthroughs, setbacks into opportunities, and simple moments into something extraordinary. Raising your vibration is not about forcing positivity or ignoring life's challenges. It is about choosing presence over distraction, gratitude over resistance, and stillness over mental noise. It is about aligning your energy so powerfully that the world has no choice but to respond in kind. And when this shift happens, reality stops being something that happens to you and becomes something you create. Effortlessly, intentionally, powerfully. Energy is fluid. It rises, it falls, it shifts with your thoughts, your emotions, your environment. Keeping your vibration high isn't just about elevating it, it's about protecting it. Every interaction, every space you enter, every piece of information you absorb affects your frequency. Conversations filled with negativity can drain you. Stressful environments can weigh you down. Even your own habits, what you watch, what you listen to, what you focus on, can either nourish your energy or deplete it. Awareness is the first shield. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every battle is yours to fight. Protecting your vibration means setting boundaries, not just with people, but with thoughts, distractions, and external noise that pull you away from alignment. Stillness is the second shield. When the outside world is chaotic, inner peace becomes your greatest defense. Daily moments of silence, breathwork, and mindful presence create a space where negativity cannot take root. Gratitude is the third shield. The energy of appreciation instantly raises your frequency. It shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from stress to ease. It's not about ignoring life's difficulties, but about choosing where your energy flows. Maintaining a high vibration is not about isolation. It's about intention. It's about choosing what strengthens you, what uplifts you, what aligns with the life you are creating. Because the more you guard your energy, the more effortlessly you move through the world, light, clear, and untouchable by anything that seeks to pull you down. Mastery is not a destination. It is a practice, a rhythm, a way of moving through life with awareness. The mind will always generate thoughts. The world will always pull for your attention. Challenges will arise. Emotions will fluctuate. Distractions will tempt you back into old patterns. But the difference between being consumed by these things and moving through them with ease comes down to one thing: self-observation. Every moment offers a choice: to react or to witness, to get lost in thought or to step back and watch, to let emotions control you or to acknowledge them without attachment. The more you observe yourself, your patterns, your triggers, your conditioned responses, the less power they have over you. What once felt automatic, unconscious, unavoidable begins to slow. You see the moment before the reaction. You feel the shift before the downward spiral. And in that space, you reclaim your energy, your peace, your clarity. This path is not about perfection. It is about presence. There will be days when the mind is louder, when emotions feel heavier, when the old patterns try to pull you back in. But self-observation is the anchor that keeps you from drifting too far. It is the practice of returning, again and again, until awareness becomes second nature, and life is no longer something you react to, but something you experience with full presence, full clarity, and full power. The greatest truths are the simplest ones. The mind searches for complexity, for hidden meanings, for something grand and elusive. But real wisdom is not found in more, it is found in less. Stillness is simple. Presence is simple. Awareness is simple. And yet, these are the very things that elude most people, not because they are difficult, but because they are overlooked. Enlightenment is not about achieving something new. It is about stripping away everything that is not real, every illusion, every mental construct, every layer of unnecessary thought. It is about coming back to what has always been there, waiting beneath the noise. Clear mind, peaceful heart, a life that flows effortlessly, not because you have mastered control, but because you have surrendered the need for it. Simplicity is not emptiness. It is fullness without excess. It is the ability to experience life as it is, without distortion, without resistance. It is walking through the world without the weight of overthinking, without the burden of unnecessary complexity. And in this simplicity, everything makes sense. The search ends not because you found something, but because you stopped searching. Because the truth was never somewhere else. It was always here, always now, always within. You were never meant to struggle through life, trapped in endless thoughts, chasing something that was always within you. The path was never about adding more, it was about removing what was never real. Now you know the truth. The less you think, the higher you vibrate. The quieter the mind, the clearer the path. And the moment you let go, life flows effortlessly. No more searching, no more resistance, just presence, just peace, just being. And in that simplicity, you are finally free.